to another episode of the Impel Fort Podcast. I'm your host, Leon, and we're back. I got my co-host, Renee, right here. And my man, KP, I call him Mr. Pierre.
It's so extended.
Yeah, it's extended. Yeah. We're back. We're back live in the studio together.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna lie. These last 2 weeks since Thanksgiving, I've been kind of like the weather. Been kind of like, man, should I go in the studio?
It's been getting you?
Yeah, it's been getting me.
Is that why we ain't been in the studio?
Well, of course, the holiday. So Thursday, I wasn't trying to do nothing. Thanksgiving, of course.
True.
Then this week, it was just last week, whatever it was.
This week was last week?
Whatever it was, you know what I'm talking about. We back. We're back.
Even Too Bitty brushing his hair on Facebook.
Yeah, man.
So
You gonna brush?
she talking about me brushing my hair. So
We gonna brush that hairline off.
right now, we're gonna talk about this. Is what we're talking about right here.
My
The barber.
Mm-hmm.
The man pulling the gun on the barber.
Right.
Of course, I didn't like that.
You don't like
Of
it?
course you didn't
No,
like
so
that because that's your community.
Yeah,
Right.
Barbers in my community. So
Yeah.
I started doing videos, man. I've been so the whole time people been talking about prices and we charging too much and
Oh, yeah.
cuts. I ain't never really weigh in on it.
You haven't.
No,
You haven't.
because I don't. Because
What you think about that?
people go pay for what they want to pay for, regardless.
If it's
what price.
quality,
If
Right.
it's quality,
quality.
if it's quality.
But in a world of inflation,
Mm-hmm.
right?
how do you feel?
Well, sometimes I feel like I need to go up some more.
so
but-
that's
what?
singular thinking and not collective. But go ahead.
But see,
Mhm.
what people don't realize in the barber world, I don't know if we ever talked about it. Did we talk about this?
We
on the
never
podcast?
talked about this because
Okay.
you don't never talking about your prices.
If you
It's
go,
off.
well, I'm gonna school y'all. So if you go from maybe mid 90s, early 90s, up until probably 2016, 17,
Mhm.
18, you can go there.
What's that?
We wasn't charging them but 25 from anywhere from $12 to $25.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a
true.
long time for barbers not getting their due.
I don't
Right.
think so because
Yeah.
you were charging 12 to 25 for that full time, or you increased.
What I'm saying is most barbershops across everywhere, that what the price was. Anywhere from probably about $25 at the most.
Yes.
Which
and
is
it gradually got
What I'm saying is this: for
Okay.
somebody been cutting hair 22 years.
not well,
it's been
22
22.
years.
It's been 22.
Yes, I've been cutting hair 22 years.
right?
That price is very sufficient for us.
So let me ask. So when most people, increase their price,
Mhm.
right? Or they their price is higher than the average market, right?
Mhm.
Usually it comes with something. Like, so are you using the same products you were using in 2018 and through 2020? Or are you using a higher, I would say a higher level of products? Are you using a
Are
different
right? Are
you
you
know,
using
when
a
you cut
NASA
with-
blade?
Are you
on it?
using a different blade? Are you using different hair products as far as like, let me finish.
Go ahead.
As far as like, you're an advocate for oil sheen as much as you talk about
I don't even use
aerosol.
oil sheen no more. But go ahead.
Or oil, or are you using, better quality products? Meaning that back then you were probably using Blue Magic and Vaseline. Have you upped your products? Have you upped your equipment that you're using? Are you offering additional services that equate to your price increase?
She's talking to somebody who's been cutting hair 22 years.
It
Of
doesn't
course,
matter.
I've up my clippers. Clippers now cost about $300.
But that's a one-time payout.
It don't matter. You
That's
got
right.
blades. You got blades. You got to buy neck strips. You
How
have to,
often are you purchasing these items?
neck strips? You purchasing them every couple
No,
weeks.
no.
Yeah.
We talking about them clippers.
Yeah.
Clippers.
Right, the
It don't mean
upkeep.
you still got to buy blades for clippers. And blades, let me see.
Are you buying them by bulk?
No, you don't have to buy. It don't matter. It don't
What's
matter
the
what you buy.
purpose of the
We're-
new blades? to
we're-
make you-
We're talking about. Matter of fact, we gonna go this route then. Standing there for 8 hours, physically cutting people's hair all day long. It takes a toll on your body.
Absolutely.
We can look at it that
but
way.
that's the job you chose, right?
Right. And like your job you chose, you want to increase. You want to what you call it?
But
stipend.
married.
You
You
want
wanna
to
marry.
Here's the thing, but my merit increase is
Mhm.
justified by what I've done.
Okay.
Did I reduce income for
By
reduce
what you've done.
expenses?
We labor for 20.
No,
I
no,
labor for 22 years.
Listen.
Wait a minute.
No, y'all, you're gonna.
my
If
price
you
is
go down the
about
road that
$50.
you're not gonna. You're going down the road that she's gonna paint you into a corner.
No, she ain't gonna pay me.
Yeah.
No.
Yes, she
I-
is, because where she's going is she's incrementally changed the company profile from the red to the green.
Yes.
Implemented this program.
When I first started, my
Yeah.
travel expenses were $60,000. This year, I'm ending it at 21. So when I say the increase, the merit increase is
that's
warranted.
why I'm saying don't go there.
Because I'm able to show it.
You can cut the way you cut my hair. You're gonna cut my hair the same. You've been cutting my hair for the same way for let's say 10 years. Because I'm gonna get 10-year haircut. Nothing's gonna change. You're not gonna add anything. Ain't that gonna know what from the day you cut my hair, from the way you're gonna end up cutting it until I lose my hair.
I'm charging you for experience.
What experience?
Wait.
What experience? You don't offer that.
Look, I'm charging him for that bad barber that he used to go to.
But you cleared that up in a year.
It don't matter.
I'm gonna shut up because he got a point.
No. After a year, after a year, is he providing any any products? Are you leaving with any products that will continue?
You're right when you're going the merit route. That's why I'm stopping Leon. But what Leon gives me is comfort. Like I know he's gonna be there. He's not gonna borrow money from me. You know.
But that's a different experience. Not barber. But what I'm saying,
I give people experience.
You don't even offer bottled water.
That's not included.
That's an experience. When you go to the nail salon, you know you're going to a higher end. No, it's a service provider.
Shampoo our hair.
It's a service provider. What I'm saying is,
when you go to the nail salon, you're breathing all them chemicals in your mouth.
At your shop too, because there's a lady who does chemical next to you.
I got a room. I'm a studio.
But your ceiling doesn't go all the way to the top.
My ceiling it does go. When last time she paid attention, KP?
But what I'm saying is,
I pay for that.
But that's not a charge.
He don't shampoo our hair.
He does not offer a drink.
He don't massage our face.
Offer any cocktails. I can get a water,
massage now.
None of that.
It's a lot of people that if you want that service, that's gonna cost more. There are barbershops and barbers that charge that.
But you can't
give that service, but they charge a price for that. I know I got people that ain't gonna charge. They don't want that. They don't even want to pay what they getting the cut for.
But you have people who do, and you don't offer it.
Well, I will say this. Me and Leon talked about this, and I was making a joke earlier about what he don't do with the massage and the face. I don't want that crap.
He don't want no man. A steam treatment?
No. I don't want. I mean, it's not a homophobic thing. I just, as a man, I don't want another man washing my hair. I don't want another man scrubbing my beard and looking at me while I'm like, man, let's start the fight. Rubbing my beard.
So pretty much, you're saying that your price justifies you coming to work and your
For me, it does.
Hold on, no. Okay. Let me ask. So you're saying your increase, that experience means that you're going to be there on time, which you should be because this is your business, right? And you're going to cut the person's hair. That's the experience that you're offering. So that warrants the increase.
22 years experience. I'm on time. I'm always there. I give good service. I fix a lot of bad haircuts. I do that too. So yeah, and that puts more value on me because people.
That's your charge. But why aren't you charging me the same price that for fixing a bad haircut? You don't have to fix my bad haircut.
I'm charging you for experience.
But you threw that as an experience.
That's my bottom line. I'm charging for my experience. 22 years of cutting takes a toll on your body. You have to pay insurance. You have to. I got a family. We got to move with inflation. We can't just stay the same. Like I said,
I will say this, Leon.
So
y'all are ahead of inflation.
You're way ahead.
But remember what I said in the beginning. Look how we've been cutting $12 to $25
if you were let's just say 98, and you were charging $25 for a cut in 98, you still in 98 at $25, let's say an hour, you're still higher than the most people that work those plant jobs. Like, man, I make $20 an hour.
My point,
I'm just saying, y'all are waiting.
You know, DeQuante said, Dante, from Grits and Eggs podcast. He said a lot of these barbers and a lot of these salon owners, they treat their customers like, you know what I'm saying, like they like they from the street, like you.
Well, let's talk about the customers. Let's talk about customers.
Let's talk about it because me and you talked about how. I realize how good of a customer I am while you telling me how terrible of customers you are. Talk about those terrible. Tell the audience what makes a customer a bad customer.
Somebody who's always late.
All right. Well, other than that, going to the
but are you always on time?
Most of the time, I'm always on time.
Most of the time, I'm always on time.
That's another thing. People go to the doctor. They have doctor's appointments. They sit in there. You might sit in the lobby for 20 to 30. One time I sit in the lobby for 40 minutes.
That depends on your insurance type.
No, it don't. It don't depend. It depends on how late they running. So
they people come to the day sometimes.
Yeah, people come to the barbershop. You might be running 5 minutes behind, 10 minutes behind, which I rarely do. And if I do, it's because of customers late.
Do you offer a discount?
No.
No, he charges you if you're late.
He charges you up front. He charges you up front.
But listen.
But no, tell the audience about it. I don't think a lot of people get to hear this because I didn't think about this. Other than the late stuff, we're gonna block that out that you said that. What makes a customer a bad customer when he sits down
in my chair
and you're performing the task that he asked? What makes a customer bad?
A lot of people don't. Somebody do this right here. Going to sleep while I'm trying to cut their hair. Somebody's trying to.
But does that make them a bad customer? Or
yeah, because you got people who want straight hairlines and want to look good, but they don't be still. But you trying to do that.
You can equate that to the experience that you're offering.
He asked me what makes a bad customer. That's what I'm giving
him. You away.
No, you don't give me nothing. I'm telling him what makes a bad customer. I'm telling you all the things that make a bad customer.
I'm saying your chair must be comfortable because they're able to fall asleep.
No.
They feel comfortable in your hand versus micromanaging everything that you do.
You sleep at home. People trying to look in the mirror while you cutting their hair.
Sleep at home.
Yeah, sleep at home. That's another thing. Speaking of that, people you trying to cut their hair.
That's me.
Yeah, that's you. Crossing your legs. Put your leg down. Yeah.
So in other words, to the audience, because he's in his feelings.
He always in his feels.
What he's saying is what I didn't realize what made a bad customer bad customers. Number one is a picky customer, the one who's looking in the mirror while you're cutting him. Every phase you go into from the trim up to the setting your line, that person's looking in the mirror. And that throws your barber off. It kind of pisses him off. And the other thing too is the constant moving. Other than not looking in the mirror all the time, but the constant readjusting yourself in the chair and it just will slight movement, especially when it's razor time or lineup time before the razor. He may do it with the clippers. That's very vital. So now when you look at your line and it's like that, you need to stop moving.
Do you know how people who try to talk while I'm trying to edge up their mustache?
Let me ask you this.
I shouldn't have to tell them stop talking. I have to tell people stop talking.
Stop talking.
On your mustache.
Would you rather have somebody who's like micromanaging and wants you in the mirror, or wants you to face them in the mirror so they can see everything that you do, or a more relaxed customer who just kind of nods off?
I want somebody to sit like this right here.
Yeah, that's how I see it.
Just like that. Be still. Don't move. Tell me in the beginning. Tell me what you want. How you want your haircut. This and that. If I ask you a question, this too low, this too high, then you can move and look. I'm gonna give you the mirror. You can look. Sometimes I keep people from the mirror. Just people I know like to look in the mirror.
Yeah,
I be keeping them from
the
mirror.
Teach you that?
I keep them from the mirror.
Like to spin you to
see y'all hearing that, right? When your barber's turning you,
because a lot of times barbers don't cut with their client face in the mirror. Yeah. Do they teach you that? Like turn them?
No, that's him dealing with.
You learn a lot of things you learn in the barbershop. You don't learn. There's a lot of things you don't learn in barber school. You learn with experience and in the shop. So yeah,
I just find it weird that a lot of barbers and beauticians, stylists, they all do it. Like a lot of them do not
reach out to the mirror because we don't want y'all looking and trying to. No, be still and we'll figure it out. We go get it right, especially if you experience. But back to the prices. My price.
Wait. Before that, the other thing is.
You ain't gotta lean up in the mic. It's catching you. Back up.
Do you cut white boys?
Yes, I cut white boys. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's what they asked me. I made a video about that. That's what I had 2 in 1 week ask me the same question.
Did they ask you that in that same tone?
It don't matter what tone. They asked me the question.
The tone is funny to me.
Yeah. Right. The tone is funny. That's what I'm saying. Like,
do you
cut white boys? Yeah.
Do you cut?
I put a little twang on it. But yeah, that's what they asked me. They asked me all the time. And I got one customer off that. A white customer. Yeah, I cut everybody out.
We can't have nothing.
But look, back to the prices. My prices are average. You go to some of these big. Matter of fact, some people in this city right here, we in. They charge way more than I do. Way more. So,
Well,
do y'all want me to go up or not?
Listen, the New Year's coming. Stay your ass. Listen, stay right where you are.
What's going on? I hope that you are enjoying this episode, but I wanted to take the time out to ask you to please subscribe to the podcast. I've noticed that a lot of people are watching but are not subscribed. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. That way you won't miss an episode when it's aired or about to air. And also make sure you go to impelforwardmerch.com. That's impelforwardmerch.com. Grab you something. Now back to the episode.
I will say being here 3 years, coming from different markets, your price is, you're my dog. Your price is the highest price I ever paid, even with tip. Like, even if I tip, your price is the highest price because the previous person was like $32. And I'll just give them 40 or 40. You know what I mean? Prior to moving here, I paid $40, $35. The highest I ever paid was a $50 cut, which I went to the barbershop. We don't want to give them a shout out because they ain't paying for advertisement here. But I paid $50, but again, I didn't go back. Why I didn't go back? Because it was a young guy. It wasn't bad, but he shampooed my hair, and I didn't want him to do it. And he was like, "No, that's part of the price. That's part of the cut." And I went through with it, but I didn't like it because I didn't like me getting my hair shampooed in that capacity. To each his own, but not me. I don't want to do that. That was probably about the highest payment here that I ever had. I'll also say this: I gladly pay the price that you charge because of the compliments.
Yeah, he gets compliments all the time,
so it's worth it.
It's worth it. But I'm gonna tell you two things that made me adjust my prices. Years ago, this guy told me. He said, he never tipped me. And he said, "You know why I don't tip you?" I said, "Why?" He said, "Because you are able to set your prices at what you want for each cut." Yeah. That's one. He told me this years ago before the prices really went up.
Your price is a tip.
He told me that. Yeah. A long time. He told me like last year or something.
Yeah. So then another guy, this happened a couple years ago. I've been cutting him for a long time. And it was a stretch where I didn't see him. He came back, parked his car in front of the shop. Can I come home? I said, "It's up to you. I'm here. It's up to you." So he started coming back, getting on the books. Then he said, "Here, my chair, I'm cutting." He said, "Man, I was going to this young dude. He all right, he cool, but he put that black stuff on my head. His fade don't be that good, but he all right. And he charged more than you. I came back to you because you were cheaper."
Ooh, that's a slap in the face.
And what he said, well, how much did he charge?
I ain't saying nothing. Well, he told me what he charged, about 6. I don't even charge 60. And so he was like, it's about 60. So I'm like,
yes, you do.
I'm like, now yours is about 60. So I'm like, you think that's a compliment for me? Somebody been cutting 22 years?
I think he thought, you know what, Leon? I think that he thought that he was gonna feed your ego, but before it came out before he probably thought about like, damn, I probably shouldn't have said that.
Nah, he didn't. He didn't think that. He just, I don't know what he thought.
He was trying to make you feel better, but really just.
Well. So all in all, your prices are based on what you feel you deserve based on your experience, which is fine.
I really deserve more, I think. Well, I know I deserve more for each cut, but I keep it in the middle.
I'm gonna have to sell blood and plasma.
I keep it in the middle of the road
because I get a cut every week.
I can show y'all some barbers in our area and what they charge. I'll be like, okay, you good.
I don't know. I know a few, and I don't think that y'all gonna be too far out of whack from one another.
Right.
But do you think at some point you can price yourself out and that could be a bad thing?
It could happen, but
because it's so, barber, especially around here, even you look at Walmart, right? At first they used to kind of have like a little, salon. Now they got like a true barber shop in there.
But the thing about that is you're getting a lot of young barbers and barbers fresh out of barber school that can't really.
No, they're older though.
But not for the most part. Most of, like you say, most of us are.
There's tons of experience, but even people fresh out of,
You have a few that come fresh out of school that can cut. Most of them, no. But I had a dude. He came out of school, right? He was decent. He was all right. Called himself the fadeologist.
The fadeologist.
Fadeologist.
Okay.
Man, every now and then he'll do a good one. And one day he did one, and I looked at it. I said, man, if you go call yourself the fadeologist, you got to do better than that. He was decent, but they come out of school with these names.
Ologist.
Yeah, that ologist part.
Yeah.
It wasn't ology.
He just giving fade.
It was terrible.
Let me ask you this. Is there a barber, or are women called barbers?
Yeah, women. Yeah, we got a women barber.
Well, I didn't know if there was another name. I want to respect my people. Yeah. Listen, if y'all know, they know I'm for the girls.
Yeah.
92%.
Well, you got cosmetologists who know how to use clippers a little bit too. And
you didn't have to say specifically.
Specifically, like, the 92%. Really putting
us. You don't mess with us.
I specifically go for the 92% because I'm a girl's girl always. But when I'm so sick. Get them away from me.
Love the 92.
Let me ask you this: is there a barber, man or woman, that you look up to and that you admire, and you kind of that you continuously try to not necessarily copy or emulate, or that you would like to learn more from?
Well, I learn more from a lot of barbers on Instagram. I look at everybody's stuff. I'm always,
because you're not the only barber in your family, right?
Yeah, my sister nice. She nice. Hassani J.
Nice? That's where I was getting at. I was waiting for you to.
Where your sister cut at, man? You ain't never tell me about your sister cut.
She in Fayetteville.
She in Fayetteville.
I might cut better.
What else? Hassani J.
Hassani, I'm gonna come to you because I feel like I need a girl.
You from I'm
gonna come to her next. Anyway, what I'm saying is, and the reason why I ask is because I know how much you give her flowers as far as like cutting hair, and you've told me like, yo,
is it because it's your sister, or is she really nice with it?
No, she's nice with it.
Okay,
she do everything: hair, nails, dreads, twist, dye, whatever. She nice with it.
Right, she nice with it. So that's why I was asking you, is there somebody? I was waiting for you to.
Didn't you say there was a male figure in your family cut too, right?
Yeah, my pops.
Your pops.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to do.
So my biological pops, he went to Harris Barber College, same Barber College I went to. Then my step pops, he went to somewhere, Fayetteville, Spring Lake, somewhere, Barber College. I grew up in the barbershop. My mother, she cut hair.
Your mom, listen, Leon's mom is she do everything.
Yeah, she do everything. If you need a lawyer, if you need a nail tech, you need a cosmetologist, you need oil. My mama do everything. Listen, you need a paralegal, she do everything.
That's where he get the. Now I see where you get the hustle from.
Shout out, mom.
Yeah, that's where I get it
that's
from.
where you get the hustle from. But so you none of the.
And my brother cut hair too.
Well, damn.
Yeah.
This is what I was waiting for him. He wasn't catching on, but I was waiting for him to, you know what I mean?
So I got two cousins who cut hair too.
Wow.
Yeah, I got a cousin.
So it's hard for you to say that you have a hero other than, I think your hero is Sly Honcho.
Oh no, I don't even watch his stuff.
I don't even necessarily say a hero, but you can have family members that you feel is real nice with it, and they're a little bit better than you. Yeah. So you look up to him.
I was just making a joke. I think Sly Honcho is it's just funny to me. He shoots a lot of propaganda. No, I wouldn't say that because he's really doing it. You remember, didn't you? No, you didn't tell me about the guy. I told you about Sly Honcho.
You told me about him, yeah. I had seen him, but I didn't really know his name. But when you showed it to me, I was like, I seen some of his stuff. But I watch a lot of different barbers though. Because really, honestly, I be getting burnt out with barber.
I know. We talk about that too.
I be getting burnt out, so I have to go and look at videos. Okay, they push me a little bit, but I be getting burnt out.
Let me ask you this: if you could cut anyone's hair, I'm not gonna make it broad. I'm not gonna make it super celebrity based. I would say here in the Durham, North Carolina area, or Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, Cary, whatever, North Carolina, whose hair would you want to cut?
I don't know. I don't have no.
You didn't think about that one? Look at Renee, you've been coming with some questions.
Yeah, I don't
know. Last 2 or 3 questions.
Because I really feel like
you. All right, little girl.
You know what I'm saying?
She's been watching me. Go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But is there somebody that you would?
Did we talk about somebody before? Something like you trying to hit her?
No. I mean, we talked about bad haircuts, and we talked about people's haircuts a lot, but we don't necessarily.
I'm getting my clipper bag together too. I'm going out. See, this is what I like to do. Well, I ain't gonna say I like to do, but I be seeing people out with bad haircuts. I be wanting to say something to them. Matter of fact, I did say something to one person. But anyway, I be wanting to say something like, "Who cut your hair?" or "Where you get a haircut at?" And I'm get my clipper bag ready.
I like it.
I'm gonna keep it on my.
So who would you like?
I don't know. Who? I don't know. I don't have nobody that
I have a request.
specifically.
Who I would think you should want to cut?
Who?
Kevin Durant.
He's stupid.
You should be the first one to give him a cut.
Kevin Durant, if you see this, holler at me.
Oh.
I don't have nobody. I really.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Do you feel like you should? Do you feel the need to have more women clients?
No.
You don't think you want to cut like Boris Watkins, Dr. Boris Watkins' hair just for an hour, just to chop it up with him?
You just do a beard.
Or do a beard. You don't think you want to cut somebody like that, somebody that can speak and just have that moment.
Yeah, give me some she don't like Boris Watkins.
Not well.
Hold on, let me do this right. Make sure you go to impel4merch.com. impel4merch.com, all things impel4 merch. What they go get, Renee?
2, 3, or 10.
2, 3, or 10.
Which one is that?
I got these on they on sale. Got the sweatsuit. Go check them out. Got the hats.
Sure. You got this?
But they almost gone. So
so business is good.
Yeah, they almost gone.
Business is good.
I think I only got about three of these left right here.
They comfy, y'all.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. They're thick. It's given very much fear of God. And I can say that because it's black owned and he black owned.
Fear of God.
So if
that's the one I have.
Yeah. So if I'm ever gonna compare something, it's gonna be black on black.
Yeah. Do that. Good. But
we're gonna ever talk about black businesses.
But let's get into
about that next.
Black businesses, right? Because this is gonna
wait a minute. We didn't talk about that. We I don't know what we got to talk about the guy who pulled out the gun on the barber.
Okay.
We didn't even get to the violent part. We started talking about the infrastructure.
Y'all started that.
You want to talk about the pay.
Well, Renee came with the Gail King questions. And you was like, I'm an older man that like
let me ask you this. Because that particular client, you can kind of tell, right? That he didn't just get in the seat and start directing what should be done. A lot of times those clients, they come in hot, right?
Yeah.
They come in and also to his extent, right? Depending on where you are, because somebody like I would say a northerner from New York, they're gonna come in hot anyway. So, they're very boisterous, opinionated. So you don't really know what you're getting.
Right.
But a lot of times, this client that's coming in because he sat down probably.
The guy, they said he had been cutting his hair for a year.
Okay, so you know him.
Yeah, he knew the guy.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at the video or the pictures, still pictures, you can see the guy hairline is, is the sides are going back.
Right.
So you have a lot of people like that. Even with me, mine got to be adjusted some kind of way. Your corners might not be right.
Mm-hmm.
You might be thinner in front.
Right.
So that was the case. And so when I'm looking at them comments, some of the people talk, man, he pushed him back. They don't know what they're talking about. Like, if you look, you could tell that man.
It's kind of hard to make it even. So you got to kind of do what you can.
You got to adjust. You got to make this corner look like this corner. And so if you look at the video, he's trying to explain to the guy, like when you turn around to the mirror, like you were asking earlier, he's showing him his corners. Look, I'm getting this even with this one. But the guy, he wasn't trying to hear it.
Let me ask you this: in that situation, what would have been your stopping point?
I don't know, because I've had some situations myself.
Damn.
One I had to go outside. One I put my clippers down, and one I just let somebody chill. But it happens, and it depends on the temperament of the barber, what they can take, what they can't take. My grandma.
Looking at that video, at what point would you say, you know what? I don't think I'm the best barber for what you want.
Well, I would have did that. I mean, he kind of did that. He said, "Have a nice day. You can have it cut." He told him, "Have a nice day." So
but after he was done cutting his hair, you know what I mean? Like when the guy was like, "No, you," because there was some back and forth prior to him getting out the chair.
Yeah, but I can't really remember. I don't know. For me, I don't know. Somewhere in the middle of that, I would have did the same. I would have told him, "Look, you good. You can have it." Because it wasn't. You couldn't make up for what he wanted.
Right.
It wasn't.
There's just a level of constant explaining or justification of how I do my job based on your cul-de-sac that I'm going to do until I feel as though that I may not be the person that can do what you're asking for. And there may be somebody else who has a lot of Beijing and a sprayer on their time that can give you what you want.
But even with that, now unless you pull the whole front down on his head, it wasn't go. You had to put a whole. It was
a whole Jermaine Jackson.
Yeah,
what you say about Jermaine Jackson, man? You got any? You want to cut him? He's a star.
Nah, man,
That's a little too much pomade at the front.
Yeah.
What is that?
Like a peacock or something.
What is that? I mean,
I don't know.
It's a lot of Murrays up there. But so back to him, right? So he cuts the guy's hair and gets up. The guy gets up. And then he goes out and then he comes back in. At what point in time where that would have been over? Because it just seemed like it carried on a little bit too much. Because
what to do when he picked up his?
Because I would have locked the door.
Yeah, he should have locked the door. That's what he should have did. I don't think
when he went and stood at the door looking out, he should have locked the door.
I don't think he really thought he would come back in there with a gun.
But again, you know your client because you've been cutting his hair for a year. That's not his behavior, right? I mean, that's been his normal behavior.
But that guy didn't look like he was.
You never know.
That guy didn't look like he was somebody that was
Well, he just got out of jail. Not saying that but
how you know?
Because he yelled at him like you gonna. Well, he kept on saying, "I ain't, I'm gonna go back to jail."
I don't know if he had just got out of jail, but he had been in prison.
Yeah, he had been in prison.
Yeah, he'd been. So he was because he's saying like you lucky I don't want to go back to prison, but you going back because we see you on video.
The only bad part about that, how long that is, that was in Louisiana. So
you not in Florida.
I thought it was in Louisiana.
No, I happened in Florida.
My issue is that there were kids.
Why so many people sent me that video? Say, man, what's wrong with your people back home? I'm like,
I don't know if they were saying back home, but they probably saying what's wrong with your people. My issue with the barber is that there was lack of protection for the children that was in there.
Well, no one thinks to, but I get what you're saying. You talking about protection at that moment, or
at that moment when he got up and left, and you watching him out the door, like you said, he's been cutting that man's hair for a year. That's not the first time he's witnessed that behavior and know what that dude is about, right?
You don't know that. You don't. He might not.
Listen, service providers know majority everybody's tea, right? And I say this because we talk, right? And whatever we talk about stays in the room. My waxer, whatever we talk about stays in the room. Your service provider. Your service provider that provides to you on a monthly basis knows majority. They probably know more of your business and what's going on with you than I would say some of your friends and some of your close family members.
But that could be one reason.
Waxer definitely know a lot about you.
I don't know what they're talking about. That could be one reason why he didn't think that he would do that because they had a relationship, at least a year relationship. So that could be one.
I don't know, just him yelling and all of that. I would have just immediately locked the door and kids go in the back or kids. You know what I mean? Because you just never know.
Yeah, he should have just locked the door. But he probably didn't think he was coming back in there.
Then the other dude, what was he doing? Because he didn't even calm the situation. He made the situation worse. The kids go in the back, and he.
He could. What much can he do? He got a man with a gun in his hand.
He could have went in the back with the kids and called the police.
Well, he told the kids to go outside.
Go outside. He should have.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. It just the whole situation.
The moral of the story is people need to pay more attention to your hairline. Know you're thinning. Your barber. Now barbers can mess up, and barbers can't have a bad day. I'm not saying barbers can't have a bad day. I got a lot of people don't even look in the mirror. But sometimes look in the mirror. What I do is I go ahead and spin them around most of the time to the mirror while I'm getting my alcohol, or whatever, so they can take their little couple seconds and look.
Hey, look what's
Tell
happening.
me what. Look, can you push it back a little bit, or can you make this sharper? So it's. We got to be perfect. Barbers got to be perfect most of the time.
Yes, because you're dealing with
you're dealing with a temperamental client base.
Service providers as a whole has to be perfect, right? Because we're paying you for a service. If you look at like women or anybody, you getting your nails and your toes done, we want a specific shape. We want it to look a certain way. We want, all of those things. So, we kind of put you guys on a higher pedestal than anyone else because we're a reflection of you and your business.
Yeah, true. That's why barbers, or most barbers, especially if you experience been cutting for a long time, we try to give our best work. But sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it ain't that easy.
Do you feel like this scenario should make barbers more aware to kind of have those consultations up front, like so that those unrealistic, especially with those unrealistic, I
did a video on that. Like when especially if you get a new customer and you already see where you got some insecurities that in the hairline and face or whatever, gaps in the beard, whatever. You know, you let them know this ain't connecting. You have a lot of guys with beards, they keep it high, but they ain't up there ain't no but skin. You ain't got nothing but skin. Where you want me to keep it at?
Right.
So I wish mine can grow that high. I wish mine can go to as high as the lip thing, so I can wear, because I would wear a full beard under here up to there, but I've come to the realization mine is not gonna go that high.
Yeah.
So I'm good. Well, I'm not good with it. I wish mine came up as high as yours, but I guess
so most people
Choctaw versus the Seminole and that's right.
Oh my goodness.
But give people that consultation. You new barbers. Make sure you give people that consultation. Pay attention to their head and take your time with it.
Also, do you let your older clients that's been going to you for a while know, like, hey, it's getting a little thin up here?
Well, most of the time, they will ask you. They just need your what's the word?
How long? Listen, they need we be like this. How long I got, bro?
They need you to co-sign. Man, you think I'm going bald? Yeah, you're going bald. Yeah. Now some people they be like, no, you got time. You better go ahead and tell your barber, tell your customer that they're going bald right then, because
we don't know if it's at the top. We don't know it.
No, if you say, nah, you good. When they start thinning, they gonna blame it on you. Barbers, if you got a customer coming in and say, point. You think I'm going bald? Just yeah, you going bald.
Eventually,
you losing it.
Because I can see, because we don't know it.
Yeah, but now they know. You know, if you really pay attention to your hair, you'll see the signs. You'll see the signs.
Well, there you have it from a barber himself.
We did a whole episode on
20 years of experience.
22. Don't take
20. Excuse me.
Take none away.
22 years
he
of experience.
In 2003.
He started, during, the Civil War, before Christ, and he will give you his honest opinions, and he will let you know if you're thinning, balding. Maybe you have some, thinning on the edges, or you might just be bald and no one's told you.
Shout out to my mama. Shout out to my daddy.
Yeah.
Both of my daddies. Shout out to my sister, my brother, and my boys who taught me when I was locked up. Yeah.
I didn't realize you had two daddies. We can't be friends, man.
I got two. Yeah, you got a dad. You got one.
Why you don't like? Anywho, as we talk about Barber,
I don't like friends that got daddies.
Oh, he need a private.
I'm jealous.
He need a private conversation.
That's gonna on the next episode of Impel Forward podcast.
Oh no.
Childless adults. Parentless adults on the next episode. Speaking of businesses and being a business owner and Black businesses, or business owners as a whole, and you guys are gonna hold me to this when I bring this topic up, because it is a hot topic.
Uh-oh. What are we talking about?
We talking about Minnesota.
Minnesota.
The Somalians, right?
Okay.
And our most recent, what do we call him? 47? Is he 47?
Bozo.
47.
You agree with him on certain topics.
I did agree with him a little bit, and let me explain why. Not everything, and people. So they're at a press conference. He went on one of his, tyrants, and he talked about the Somalians in Minnesota, right? And how they have. This is where you got to fact check, and how the biggest fraud ever. And he said billions upon billions. It wasn't billions. Now it was millions. And that, of course he talked about them and, and who they are, the people, and he does not want them in the country anymore. They need to go back to where they came from, and, they're garbage, all of those things. You can look it up, good people. Now, here is where I say, I said, I agree with him in some sort. I agree with him as far as like the biggest tax fraud. It was $250 million in which the Somalians defrauded the government.
We did not defraud the government.
So, Somalians, oh my goodness, they refer to themselves as Arabs, a lot of them, right? They don't refer to themselves as Black. They feel as though, I guess, just amongst my research, they feel as though Black people, I guess it's a Western culture thing.
Do you have an experience with Somalians?
I've dealt with them from a business standpoint, so I understand. So when I say that I agree with Trump in his sentiment, I say as far as the biggest tax fraud. Now, here's where I say, shoot the messenger if you want to. They don't really deal with Black people, westernized Black people, right? They don't relate to us.
No.
I hear, I've seen them in business.
Yeah.
They don't really like doing business with us, right? And so they're getting a lot of them voted for Trump.
Yes.
In Minnesota, a majority of them did because they felt as though
they campaigned, they stomped for him.
They campaigned and stomped, and they felt like Kamala wasn't going to be the better choice based on the economy at that moment. With, of course, the inflation in food and gas and everything, they felt like it wasn't affordable. It was unaffordable at that time, and they knew that Trump was an agent of chaos. But because he ran on affordability and the whole tariff thing where he didn't really explain the tariff and he was going to make America great again, that he was the better option. So that's why it was such a strong push for them in Minnesota. Here is where I take issue as far as like our relationships with the Somalian people. So back in 2020, when the horrible thing that happened to George Floyd, rest in peace. Some of them were out on the street protesting, but majority of the larger community didn't, because again, they're not Black, they're Arab, right? So there's no relation, and they keep their community extremely tight. But as far as with the Europeans and white people, they embrace them because they are put on that pedestal, right? So your close proximity to white people yields a higher or a better result in the long run, right? That's how they felt. So
the fraud case and the Somalian case, the
Somalians were the ones who defrauded the government for $250 million. So it was a certain group, right? So what they did was they kind of used the whole George Floyd situation to their advantage. What they did was they defrauded the government out of like welfare assistance. So they were creating these fake accounts talking about feeding children and working with these different nonprofits, under the same umbrella with kids with autism. All of these, the names and everything was wrong. It was fictitious, the whole situation. Now, the issue I take with that is when, of course, Tim Walsh became into office, because this preceded him, right? It was going, but he, once he got into office, of course, it still happened until. So when the investigations happened and it was taken to the Supreme Court, or to the courts for someone to stop this fraud from happening, they blamed it on racism and said that, kind of blamed the George Floyd situation and said,
tried to ride that wave.
They were riding the wave of, you're discriminating against us during this time.
Right.
Because we're Black. We're Somalian.
Right. Oh, we're conveniently Black now.
We're conveniently Black during that time frame. Right. And so they shot it back and they reopened the system and gave them more money. So to the tune of $250 million. Right. So a lot of them are just getting arrested right now. And so that's where I say, as far as, I agree with Trump, because they did, some of them did get over on, the federal government for this huge amount. It wasn't billions, it was millions. And so now they're angry because he's going on a tangent. He wants them out. He's sending ICE there. And so now they're angry, saying, how come the Blacks and the Africans aren't coming together to help us?
No.
Well, you can't be Black when it's convenient for you, because now you can't go to work and run your businesses, and that Black people probably would have supported had you been nice.
Listen here, buddy.
So you don't agree with Trump calling them garbage, but
I don't agree with Trump calling them garbage, but they did. A lot of them did defraud the government based on being Black when they felt it was convenient for them.
Listen here, buddy.
So, oh my goodness. So when that happens, that the taxpayer it has to pay that back. So it was surprising to me, you know, because we have my company has a headquarters in Minnesota, how, you know, some people are, I'm excited talking about their attorney general, Keith Ellison, and, you know, how he creates a dream team when he's going after people. And they're just like, and I'm like, you guys have Tim Walsh. He seems great. He's a school teacher. And they're like, not saying he was a part of it, because again, this preceded him, right? But I can see why there's so much negativity surrounding and division surrounding this whole situation, because now it's just recently coming to in the limelight of what's happening, especially now that, you know, and then you're seeing some of these Somalians who are like, oh, I'm a Republican and I understand he's just, you know, he does this, but I'm still a Republican and I would still vote for him. Some of them were interviewing was like, oh, we just want to invite him over to our house for tea so we can tell him we're not a bad person.
Yeah, they trying to appeal to that. You know.
Go ahead.
No. I was letting Renee get it all.
So they're trying to appeal to him. And then now they also want the Black people to help. And their excuse is, well, we were out, you know, boots on the ground when the whole thing happened with George Floyd, you know, Black Lives Matter. Some of you were, but you also use this fraud thing to your advantage during that time frame. And then so they're saying, well, if they're going to come after us, that means that they're going to come after everybody. Well, ICE knows the difference between a Black person and a Somalian. Trust me.
You think so? You think? Somalian. I mean, Leon looks Somalian.
No, he doesn't. But I think
it's like you didn't be your kid for.
I think you can't do that. I think there is some cultural differences in between where they can tell.
Well, here's the thing, though. The way I see it, you have to understand, on the continent, there is no such thing as black and white. They adopted some of our European things. So they're not going to identify as black because there is no black on the continent of Africa until about 30 years ago, when they just started like, all right, I guess we're black now. But so that kind of hurts with us coming together as one.
Right.
Also, they're just like any other race that come here. They get propagandized by the European Americans about who we are and who we're not. And it's not until a lot of them get here and they be like, wait a minute, being black is dope. These black natives that are here, they dope. But they have to let us in because most of the times they're very standoffish. They're just like the Hispanic or the Latino community. They don't really speak to us. They don't engage. And so they have this idea about us and they kind of run with it. And I, for one, I don't really care about that community like that. Long gone are the days where we're trying to reach out our olive branch to our brothers, but they don't ever extend it back. They never extend it back with the exception of like maybe Nigeria or Ghana or Sierra Leone, a lot of those countries.
But they're also being, you know, separated in this as well.
They are being separated, but I do know that this, you know, with the Somalians, like whatever's happened to them, hey, you get what you voted for.
Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings.
So a lot of them voted for Trump
because there's 40,000 of them in Minnesota, and the majority of them voted for him. And like she said, a lot of them was conveniently black during the George Floyd era. But then once they got out, you got to understand, Ilhan Omar did not support Kamala Harris.
No.
You got to remember that. She wouldn't support it. She wouldn't endorse it because of some Gaza stuff and because of some other stuff.
Because she would not say, what was it? She wouldn't call off or, you know, a ceasefire or something, which she did.
Right. Her campaign would have been for a two-state solution or a ceasefire and thing, and for them that wasn't good enough. But you know what? Trump is just they just destroying all of. So what I'm saying is and it's the same thing. I had a conversation with somebody in my messenger today that's from Colombia. We have experience with these people. We tried to tell you listen, all you other agents from all these other, we would say black people that are from other areas. Maybe you're from Nigeria, maybe you're from Jamaica. Listen, we've been trying to tell y'all, we got so much experience with these people. We know how they think, we know how they move, and we always know their next step because they use the same playbook. And we try to tell y'all, no, don't go that way. No, don't do this. And the telltale factor that they can really, their North Star should be black women. That 92% always get it right. You know, the 80% of black men get it right too, but we fluctuate. We could be 80%, we could be 90%. I think we just swung back 90% as far as we could be right too, but we have experience with these folks. We know how they think. We know how they move. We done beat them at their game. You have to understand, we've been here longer than anybody, well, with the exception of the Native American, but I don't consider that in this particular fight or in this construct. But for whatever reason, those other people that are come here, and especially those first generation, what we would say black people, like their parents are both Jamaican, but they're born here, like a Byron Donald or somebody like that. Those first generation blacks that are here, they are the worst. They all Republican.
So look, hold on, let me stop right. So Somalians, I guess Nigerians, Africans from Sierra Leone, I guess
Eritreans,
I guess Hispanics. Now, you said something earlier about when they all come over here, they don't look at us Black Americans
a value.
They don't look at it as a value because history hadn't taught them that in every cycle of American fiber, we were there. It's not. It's blacks in history, not black history, like what we're going to have in fair. It's blacks in history because at every fiber, every fabric, everything that this country has developed, earned, culture, everything, we're at the forefront of it. From something as LASIK surgery to Gary Morgan with the traffic light, to Louis Latimer with the filament for the light bulb, to penicillin, getting to the calculations to getting to the moon and back. You know, Buzz, he wouldn't go unless Katherine Johnson made the calculation. That was a black woman. And we look at the movie, the 6888, and how the other regiment that was non-melanated couldn't get the things done, but they put those 92 ahead of it. And not only they get it done, they rewrote all the red tails that in World War I that was able, they were losing bombers after bombers after bombers until they let this black regiment get in there and protect them, and they wasn't losing any bombers. So they don't know how they're not taught this, and they're not going to learn it. And to the ones that do, I think they sit back and be like, oh my God, these black people are pretty dope. And it had not been for a lot of the things that we've done, a lot of them wouldn't get to be here. I made this argument about, even we could talk about the Somalians, or we could talk about Colombians, or even Hispanic. Because of the Immigration Act of 1965, that came because of the Voting Rights Act, or the Civil Rights Act in 64, then the Voting Rights Act in 65, and then in between that was a Fair Housing Act. But we was pushing for that so that they can have some sensibility when they got over here. Because other than if you're in New York, if you go back to where we lived and whatever, like in Louisiana, you didn't see many Mexicans before the 60s, or to say you didn't see them because they might have was coming over here, but they was not prevalent in our communities. Now they're all over. When I left my community, that community that was predominantly black and white is all Hispanic now. You know, you go to a different place, it's all Hispanic. I have no problems with it. And I really, in some regard, I don't really care. But then when we get to this Trump era, and I watch how they go for Trump and how they look down their nose at us, now I got a problem. At first, I wasn't paying no attention. Do they speak to us when they see us? No, they're not very friendly. They're not very, you don't see a group of Hispanic women and black women together in droves anywhere. You might see one or two outliers that are with some black women. Other than that, they're not. And the only time you see a Hispanic man around some brothers is somebody, he might work with them. You know, very few of them we are just commingled as a community. So I don't say black and brown when it be like, hey, the police are doing, no, they're arresting black people. And that because on the brown, I've never heard them say that. They don't come out in full support for whether it's the Somalians or whether it's the Latino community. I don't see them now in pockets of progressive states like New York. Yes, you'll have the Puerto Ricans. You might have all them. They kind of commingle with the black community.
So when did they start lumping everybody together? When they start talking about black and brown community, you know,
we did that because we as the black Americans, we ain't met a fight that we wouldn't want to fight.
When you say we did that, what you mean we did that?
Black community, the ones that are here from 1619. We are the one. We've been fighting all our lives. We has to fight.
Oh my goodness.
So we used to fight, and they not.
Right.
You ain't never gonna see a Hispanic man stand up to a white dude. Never. You never see it. You don't even see it on the internet. You don't see them with them Hispanic dude fighting. The only time they fight a white dude is in the ring.
I know some that will stand up. So I know a few.
The only ones that, the outliers, no. It's the drug cartels. Listen, it's the drug cartels. It's the MS-13. But that's not for liberation of anything.
That's business.
That is strictly business,
right?
Or strictly prison rules. So the ones in prisons that are in California, stuff like that. Yeah, but I'm not talking about them.
I know somebody here now.
Who? You know one?
So yeah, I know one.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. You know one. You don't know a group.
A couple. Yeah.
So here,
like us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here, back in Minnesota, with this huge thing that's just now coming into play with all of this, with based on Trump's rant, now they want everyone to come together.
Yeah.
Everyone can't come together because that is such a huge amount of money. Who's responsible for paying that back?
Right.
The taxpayers, right? So now you have a whole conglomerate of people that are upset because their taxes are going to increase based on this. Also, you have Black people that are looking like, hey, you don't mess with me, but you benefited from me.
That part.
But now, and I have to pay you back.
This is gonna widen and divide.
It is definitely gonna widen and divide. But then
they've been sending money everywhere else, and we still paying taxes on it.
Listen, man,
that is very true.
I don't see these communities.
But that's state level, so that's different. That's state, like they were taking welfare state money. So everything's gonna increase there, and they don't really have sales tax there. No, they don't have sales tax. So something's gonna have to happen to change, and which is going to inflate cost, right? A cost of living for them to be there. Maybe they may adapt sales tax on some of their items. Maybe purchasing a car, they're going to increase that. Either way it goes, they're going to have to pay that $250 million back because
that's just going to further divide the relationship, especially between foundational Black Americans and the Somalians. That's just the same thing that's happened in Chicago with the Venezuelans and the Black folks. You talked to a lot of Black people that was impacted by the Venezuelan people been moving in there, getting subsidy, getting these things that they complained that Brandon Johnson gave. There's some, I can understand the grief that some of the Black people that have been there feel a kind of way when the Venezuelan people showed up and they get this. And then some of them try to come with that gang territory stuff, but that ain't gonna last too long. Not in Chicago. So they run them out and run them into a different area. And so they're in a different area of Chicago. But I don't see that. I don't see our relationship between us and let's just say who are more adjacent to us than let's say Europeans, meaning that anybody from the continent of Africa or any of the Caribbean, any of our Caribbean brothers, I can't see us. We really should be close because if we're in lockstep, we're so much more of a force. But
we can't be close if they don't understand what we've been through.
That's the problem.
But they don't want to
better than us because they feel they're white adjacent,
right?
And they feel that the
more they separate, why would they feel that way?
Because they've been propagated.
They've been groomed that way. They've been groomed. It was like, well, you're not them. So you're Somali, but you're not.
It's just like when you hear, if you're online and you hear a lot of people from overseas, Africans throw this out a lot of times. They talk about our schooling system and how our schooling systems are bad and we're not educated and all of these things because that's what they see. But what's so crazy is that they're the ones who are applying to come over here to go to our schools that are bad.
What makes it all crazy? Because they don't ask the next question because they hear that just what you said, but they don't realize, well, who set up the education system? Who's doing it?
And why do you want to come over here and go to college so bad? So then let me play devil's advocate on this whole situation because people are mad and this is going to be a division. Of course, this is, with Tim Walz, wanting to be reelected and everything. Now there's a woman who's going up against him and she's running on this, right? She's running on this. She's running on Trump's tyrant. And, hopefully she feels as though she's going to get all of those voters because they all feel the same way. Here's where I want to play devil's advocate a little bit with Trump. Trump is talking about, they did this and the Somalians. However, he pardoned Kwame Kilpatrick, who bankrupted a whole state.
Well, he likes criminals.
Okay.
So he's good for bankrupting an entire state. So we're going to let him out of jail. We're going to pardon him.
Because Trump and bankruptcy goes together.
But these people, 250 million, that's a lot of money. But it didn't bankrupt the state.
Wait a minute. But how long was Kwame in there? He did some time, right?
Don't do that.
No, I'm saying he did some time, right?
He didn't do enough.
How much time did he do?
For what he did?
Yeah. How much time did he do?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know the time.
Because he did do some time. Now.
It doesn't matter.
How much time you think he should have did?
Bankrupting a state?
Okay. How much time do you think he should have did?
They still haven't gotten back 12? From that.
How much time you think he should have did?
I don't know. I think you should ask a taxpayer. Somebody from Detroit.
Let me see.
Yeah, that's somebody from Detroit.
When they let you know that when you purchase a home, their escrow payment is more than their house, than their principal and interest payment. Mm-hmm. So you should ask a person who's had a house throughout the Kilpatrick era until now, how long you feel he should be in jail.
And that's another thing, man.
He did 7 years.
He bankrupted a state.
I hear that, but I'm just saying, people
have been in jail for longer for less.
This is what I'm saying. I'm just saying he did do some time. That's what I'm saying. He did some time.
You don't even know the full. I've read the full transcript, so I can really go there. But what I'm saying is that he bankrupted a state plus.
I hear that.
There's other 7 years is not enough.
I'm saying he did do some time.
7 years is not enough. People are going for small for marijuana. People are going to jail for 10 and 15 for marijuana, not bankrupting a state where people are still fighting to recover to this day. You know how many people lost their homes because they couldn't afford their escrow payment because their escrow payment was $3,000 and their principal and interest payment was $600.
Listen, Renee, I feel this. You're right, but let me ask you this:
why isn't he garbage, and why doesn't he stink?
Well,
but he's also American.
He's right. He's American garbage.
That's a black man.
So he's American, so he can't be garbage, right? According to Trump, I guess, unless you're black. I don't know.
He's black
because that Somalian, that trash, that garbage. Those comments are just his N-word. He wants to say it so bad on camera because I'm pretty sure he says it. The way that man talks, he talks. You know how he talks when the cameras ain't rolling. But when he's saying they're good, they're stink, he's saying the N-word, because Trump don't differentiate Somalian from a black. He don't know who is who, you know what I mean? Unless they got on a hijab or a woman. Other than that, he wouldn't know. He wouldn't know Ilhan Omar from Marilyn Mosby. He wouldn't know the difference. I promise you he wouldn't know. So to him, they're black. That's the blacks. Okay. So
blacks.
Listen, the only thing I have with this Kilpatrick thing and all black people, I hate when our people get in these positions and they do the things that other non-melanated people do, because we know they do it. And some get away with it, some don't, but they don't get punished as much as we do. Mm-hmm. So why would we continue to do it? You know what I mean? Like when we get in these positions, when we get this power, why do we abuse our power? And why do we taint the very office of the things that we were barred from? And then when we finally get it, you give them up. See, they don't know how to do it. Their brains are small. They just know how to, dunk a basketball and eat chicken, and so it makes it seem like that when they make these comments about the corrupt nation of Africa, anytime you talk to any white politicians, Africa's corrupt. Of course, if I'm in that community, I can destroy that narrative by just talking about what's happening here. Mm-hmm. And but my problem is I hate when we get in these positions and we muck them up like that.
Yeah.
But so Renee, I'm with you, but do we really want to cannibalize our own? Do we really want him to do 20 years when someone that does equal or worse probably get 3 years or 50 months? You get what I'm saying?
He wanted to put Letitia James in jail for a long time because she had a second home for her daughter. For her cousin.
You talking about Trump?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's talking about Kwame.
No, I'm talking about.
I know you're talking. I'm giving you an example. Like he was trying to end her career.
They've been trying to do that.
I know because she's the only black woman who 92% who beat him
yes.
in court. But what I'm saying most recently, right? So these people are garbage because they defrauded the state for $250 million.
Mm-hmm.
This man bankrupted a whole state where people are still trying to recover from. And he served 7 years, right? You think that's okay? He bankrupted, and then he's trying to get rid of, or he tried to put this Black attorney in jail.
Wait a minute. Answer my question.
She purchased
what is a good amount of time that you think he should have done?
20 years. Woo!
Yeah.
Okay. I think
because you don't understand the turmoil of what people been
through. The problem is I can't argue with you. I want to be in opposition of it, but then I can't.
How many Black people lost their homes because of that?
I know that's why I can't, because I can't. I want to push back, but it's not. I feel you. You're right. But I'm just saying. What my point is, Kwame and all you other mofos, quit putting me in this position to where I can't push back against this, because you put me in a position where I'm kind of like, she's right. You shouldn't have did it. And whatever time you get, just what you get. You're going to get more time than your white counterpart. So why get in office and enrich yourself in that type of way? You listen, it's only cool when they do it, not when you do it. Mm-hmm. And so people like Kwame puts me in a disposition. I want to defend him. I want to be like, Renee, that's wrong. That's too much time. But I can't. Because you're right.
How many you think 7 years is more than enough for the damage that he caused to people in that Black people in that community?
I don't know. I was just saying that when you said that he let Kwame out. What I was saying was pardoned. What I was just saying is that he did go do some time. It ain't like he didn't.
Yeah, he said that. People lost their generational wealth behind this man.
That part, but I don't know. I can't say how much time he should have did. But
and I think
he still should be in there.
I think it was more to it. I mean,
it was a lot going on.
It had a lot going with the housing crisis, the market collapsing and things. So it had some other things. A lot of people looked at that case when it happened, because it was at the time the motor city. I think things had declined, that maybe he was a fall guy for it. He ended up being the fall guy. So he got painted. You have to understand how Detroit people that was behind him, no different than these Black folks behind him.
I read every single transcript.
Yeah, they were like, well, they're making him the scapegoat for it.
So, he was doing a lot.
You read all the transcripts?
Yeah.
Why'd you do that? I mean, what made you?
She was probably
you did that house stuff
from Detroit.
No, I was interested in the case because there were so many different moving parts. There, somebody got, unalived, and there were people, money being, exchanged with
what he was doing.
The whole situation was corrupt. He had people on his side.
It was a whole about that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you can't just bankrupt the state being a person. You have to have
do some illegals.
A lot. He was doing a lot. You know what I mean?
I didn't know about anybody getting killed.
Yeah, there was a lot. Allegedly.
Well, no, provenly, because his ass went to jail.
Not for that though. So, but as far as like the unaliving and stuff, so allegedly, there's some stories behind it.
We don't know
because we don't know. Well, you can pardon.
You can give a state.
You can pardon. January 6th, you pardon murder. So.
Well, they weren't murderers then, but some of them became murderers.
No, when they killed some of the police officers.
Oh, but they wasn't.
Unalived.
Yeah, they wasn't prosecuted. One person wasn't prosecuted for killing the particular cop. They didn't pinpoint one person and made it murder. Probably should have, but they didn't, because you had 4 cops die.
Yeah.
Now,
and then people died after the fact.
Well, they're saying the 3 cops that died, they killed themselves.
Yeah.
Because of what they went through. They were like, I can't believe our country, they kill themselves, but.
And look, if you're still watching, make sure you go to impelforwardmerch.com. That's impelforwardmerch.com. All things Impel Forward merch. Grab you some merch.
2, 3, or 10. But I think it's something that a great note to end on when we think about kind of different situations and how people are feeling, especially with re-elections coming up in different states, and understanding why people are frustrated, but also understanding that us 92%, which I'm speaking with, will be at home. You're welcome.
Y'all not participating in the
No, we're not. We're tired.
Y'all not gonna help to let.
We're gonna wake up and go to work in the morning. We're gonna do self-care on the weekends.
You been home
the holidays is coming up.
Mind their business and drink their water.
And we might have a French 75 while we're at it.
I mean, you be at home for what? Would you say y'all be at home for what?
We're gonna be at home doing self-care on the weekends.
Self-care.
We're gonna online shop.
I support it. Listen,
we're gonna do all the things.
I don't believe that.
We are not gonna be on the front lines.
I support y'all because these different groups and these different people have given us their behind the kiss. And you know what? You ain't gotta tell us twice.
So you say you shopping online?
We're shopping online. We're not going out helping. We're not picketing. It's cold outside too.
All right. So are y'all shopping all black or how y'all doing it?
I do both, but my shopping all black is a little bit different, right? I don't, never mind. I'm shopping black. I shop everything.
You get the hookup, you pull up
not
to a parking lot.
That. No,
somebody open the trunk. That's the shopping you talking about?
No, when I shop black,
that's the black shopping. I won't.
No, that's not what I'm doing. I shop more at like higher end. I guess black designers. So black I'm looking at the Christopher John Rogers, Fee Noel, Kai Collective, Koi jewelry, or 12 p.m. Studios, Janae Naylor. So a little bit more elevated. I do shop black curated. So I did break my target fast for a black woman who curated a clothing line at Target. Kalana Barfield. She's there now.
That's the only place she in? She don't have an online store?
Doesn't. She made an announcement. She had started this 5 years ago. It's been in the making for years. And
what's the name of it?
KBB Collection at Target.
KBB Collection at Target.
KBB Collection? What is that?
KBB. It's a black woman design clothing.
Oh, it's clothing.
At Target. I broke my fast for her.
Make sure y'all go support KBB.
I mean, I don't know, do we?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the women. She said,
see the position they put us in. You see the position that we get put in, like.
No, because if you still look at Target stats, they still down bad, right?
So what you think Jamal Bryant think about that? Though?
She sold out though.
What you think about Jamal Bryant thinking about that? He ain't gonna like that.
He's not gonna like that, but I think he had some form of understanding because she didn't even want to put it out. She didn't want to put out an announcement. She had,
Do she really need them?
She's contracted with them. This started 5 years ago.
Started 5 years ago.
So, she was just like, I didn't want to do it, with everything going on, but it's already production. Sorry. Everything was already set in stone. So I believe she did talk to Jamal. She's a Howard University grad. So, there's some relationship there. She's very, known in the design industry, but Target is still doing bad, but KBB, we up. It's
just hard, man, navigating, and when white America don't understand, especially when we want to be we want to be black empowering, we want to be forward thinking, we want to be forward moving, and we want to make sure that we present our dollars to as much and as many black community projects or businesses that we can. But sometimes it makes it hard when these deals get done like this, and then all of a sudden we find out that now Target is doing this, or T-Mobile is doing that, or Pep Boys is rolled like this. And we've already started business with them. It's kind of like a good friend of mine, we were having a conversation and we were talking about different people that are not black that we have been friends with over time that we're no longer friends with because we listened to NWA together with these people, we went to the high school dance and we all hung out and, we was at the football games together. And then when we got older, we end up working together. We did this, we did that. And then somehow along the way, they turned into their parents.
Wait a minute, you listened to NWA with somebody who wasn't black?
Man, a white dude turned me on to NWA. I was working a summer job.
What?
And for whatever reason, this white dude, he was our age, but he could drive a truck. I don't know. Yeah. So he played it in the work truck. And he was like, he said, have you ever heard of this? Have you ever heard of this group? And he was like, it's NWA. And I was like, no. And we were in a summer job. He put it in and he played it. And I was like, well, damn, I learned it from a white dude.
That's the second thing you just said you learned from a white dude that you should have learned from a black dude.
Well, because
what was the other one?
What was that?
Well, he was in New Orleans, right?
Yeah,
that's West Coast. Like if you're
from, man, you should be no NWA.
A lot of people
No, man. You got to understand. No, we had our own genre of music.
They have their
man.
We had our own genre of music. We had Bust Down. We had Tim Smooth. We have Joe Black. All this was. What was
the other thing you said a white dude talked about?
We got,
What was the other thing you said a white dude talked to you about? It was something else you said.
Well, I don't know. I think in the series of talking, that they taught me, it was a job that I said that I worked at for 6 years. They taught me a lot about my history, but the opposite way.
What's going on? I hope that you are enjoying this episode, but I wanted to take the time out to ask you to please subscribe to the podcast. I've noticed that a lot of people are watching, but are not subscribed. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. That way, you won't miss an episode when it's aired or about to air. And also, make sure you go to impelforwardmerch.com. That's impelforwardmerch.com. Grab you something. Now back to the episode.
They taught me a lot about my history, but in a mocking way. And because I didn't know our history, because it wasn't taught, I'm thinking, oh, well, I guess Emil, I thought Martin, he was a woman, and he didn't do nothing for black folks, or we celebrating James Earl Ray Day. And I'm like, I guess happy James Earl Ray Day. And I didn't know he was the one that shot Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying? And so they taught me what I should have learned, but in the opposite. Everything was a mocking. And it wasn't until somebody brought it to my attention. And then I started drawing back on all the things I've heard them say, the jokes, the comments. And I just, I didn't know what Sambo was, I didn't know what Shine was, they were like, hey, come here, Shine, come here, Sambo. It wasn't until my best friend was like, wait, who he calling Sambo? I said, oh, no, man, that's me. That's like, hey, man, that's racist. I was like, oh, it is? I didn't know, because, again, I didn't grow up in a house where racism was taught or Black empowerment was taught, because that's not where we come from. So I learned it. Obviously, I'm 180 degrees from that now.
Oh, yeah, you definitely are.
Because I started in learning. And I'm like, oh, these no good, so you draw back on it. But no, that white guy turned me on to NWA. Yeah, sure it did. But my point is,
I'm disappointed in you.
No, the point that I'm making is we did all these things with these folks.
Right.
Only to find out when Trump was elected the first time, we really got to see who they were. Now we don't F with them. You know what I'm saying? They turned into their parents. And that was a struggle, but it ain't no struggle for me no more. I gladly welcome.
Did they turn into their parents, or have they always been there?
They wasn't always their parents, because racism is taught. It's not, you're not born to be racist. Two Black babies will play with each other. But it's also
learned from your environment. Yeah.
It could be learned, but it also could be just like you learn the bad, you can learn the good.
That's true.
The reason why we was always cool with white folks, because we always saw the good in them. Oh, that's a good, what we say, man, that's a good white, man, good people, good white folk, until there wasn't, until they show us. And unfortunately, we don't learn until the last minute, and it puts us in a position like, oh man, we were cool with him, but bro, I can't believe he felt that way about Trayvon Martin. Like, bro, how you come to that conclusion that George Zimmerman was in his right to kill this boy at 17? They were like, well, he shouldn't have, or this Alton Sterling. Like, I started seeing these things where we were divided. Like, when I didn't think we would ever be divided on that. And that part of America showed me who they really were. So I learned a long time ago who they were.
Well, I'll say this. On the next episode of Impel, I'm going to leave you guys with some homework.
Oh, God.
We're going to talk about the all-white community and how it's going now.
In Arkansas?
And what they're doing.
They was mad. We wasn't mad.
Is that... I haven't been up on that lately. You seen
they were mad that we wasn't mad.
This is the homework This is the homework I'm going to leave you with on the next episode of Impel. What we're going to talk about is we talked about it last, and I said it's not going to work.
She talking about the next time we get together.
The next time we get okay. Impel Forward when we get together. And remember, we brought it up a while ago when it was first, and I said it's not going to work. And they're struggling right now. They're having some issues, and I'm going to leave these two to do their homework so we can have a conversation.
I can already think about what they're struggling with.
Their audience. And also, we're going to talk about a lot of things that they forgot in the makings of building this said community. So let's dig a little bit deeper on that.
They probably should have consulted the Amish, but
not that because there's more.
Well,
But
they could have
all it's
consulted.
gonna take is one of us to infiltrate that little thing, and one of them little snow bunnies get a hold of Jaquan, and Jaquan
and pull out my brush.
Pull out your brush.
And then the community gonna be ran through.
Go ahead.
Well, for you barbers, we talked about Barber and we talking about Trump and Somalians, and we're gonna go back to the barbers. Y'all make sure y'all get these people heads right. Make sure you pay attention to these lines, thinning, and just get along with your barber. Don't pull out no gun on your barber. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Bad luck.
Support your barber and respect his years of experience.
Yeah, support your barber, support your black barbers, support your black clothing companies. Go out there and
definitely
spend with them this holiday season.
Can I just say something about that too, man? I'm having a little issue with. I support Actively Black, and I know, but man,
we talked about it.
I just man, I'm gonna always support Black businesses. But sometimes, man, y'all make it hard.
Can we add that on to the next?
Go ahead. Let me go.
No, I'm just saying sometimes it makes it hard. It's just what I'm saying is that it makes it hard, but because I'm in business and I understand logistics, I get it. And I also get funding. I also get scalability. I get it. But a lot of Black businesses I support, I buy Black clothing. I buy Black seasonings. I buy Black.
Me too.
Yeah, a lot of this stuff. But and I try to buy Black herbs. Like I try to go to Dr. Sunyana Amin or the calabash that she does. The teas, it's always out of stock. I mean, it's so frustrating sometimes when I'm trying to deal with it. I deal with it and I put up with it, but man, I'm tired.
Are you saying Black businesses need to do better as far as?
I don't know because I don't want to put that on my community because I know what they're up against.
Yeah, I know.
I know what they're up against.
Yeah.
But I'm also saying that what we can do well, let's do that well. If we're good at communicating. Like the problem I had with Actively Black, man, I ordered a lot of free items and they were supposed to been shipped out in November and they didn't go out. I didn't get a message, and what I'm saying is you see Landis, you see him all over social medias because we're good at messaging, right? Well, be good at sending a message to your customers that, hey, unfortunately, our manufacturer is backed up. We thought that we were going to have the supplies to get these pieces out. We're delayed. We'll let you know. Like, let the customer. Like the things that we do.
I thought they did a pretty good job of doing that.
No, why you get information from them?
No, I follow them, so I just I'm always trying to learn, so I'm following, seeing what he
right. I will tell you with your clothing line and things like that. Of course, we sit down in the chair, we have a lot of conversations, but what they do, they don't do that very well. Okay. I've been interacting with like their support team. And I don't know who I'm talking to, but they're not, it's you gotta, they be in their feelings when they're responding back to you.
I guess it's like, what they say about more money, more problems. The bigger you get, the harder it gets or whatever. So, sometimes, it just, they working through some things. So,
I mean, I get it. I get it, man. But it's not like that, it's not like he's working out of his apartment, man. He's got a warehouse, Yeah. I just think that, I'm going to always support them until I don't. But it makes me skeptical because there's other pieces I want to order, but I don't, because sometimes there is something I ordered. I thought I was getting a whole jogger set. I just got the pants.
Man, did you read the whole thing?
Well, the problem is, yes, I did not read the whole thing, but the article itself was misleading. It says half off. It was a Black Friday sale, half off on our jog. We're clearing out of inventory. And they showed the whole set. And I just put it in my cart and bought it. And when I got it, it was just the pants. I was like, what am I going to do with this? And then I reached back to them. They're like, we don't have the top for that.
Well, I'm going to try my best to do a great job on my apparel.
Well, communicate with your customer base.
Yeah.
Communicate.
They ship really fast, though, if they have it.
If they have it, you're going to get it.
I ordered my homeboy a sweatshirt for his birthday. And it came in like 3 days. It was quick.
What kind of shirt? What size was the shirt?
It was a hoodie.
I know what size was the hoodie.
Extra large. Oh, it was royal blue and black.
Little small dude.
Well, look, there you have it for another episode of the MPL4 podcast. Remember, seize the opportunity to grasp your dreams. Go grab you some merch. MPL4merch.com.
2, 3, or 10.